ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरे प्रिये। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायिने कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिषे नमः। पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम्। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जन्माद्यस्य तोऽन्वयादितरतश्चार्थसुभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदायादिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। स्वस्ति अस्तु विश्वस्य खलः प्रसीदतां ध्यायन्तु भूतानि शिवं मिथो धिया मनश्च भद्रं भजतादधोक्षजे आवेश्यतां नो मतिरप्यहेतुकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 44, verse number 16. So in the previous class we studied the statements of the ladies of Mathura, how they were praising the residents of Vraja and especially the gopis. So actually speaking, there is no real context for them to speak like this, because if you see Krishna, you want to relish Krishna's beauty and not think of someone else somewhere that they are fortunate or this is fortunate. But the author is trying to establish the greatness of Brajvasis, and therefore he is making this contrast and making the ladies of Mathura speak it, so that if someone else says, you can say, oh, you are just biased, but they themselves are saying it, and they're saying it after seeing Krishna. So that means they understand the greatness of the gopis, and this is what Sri Vyasa wants to convey, that how great is Vraja and the Vrajvasis. Otherwise, where their wrestling is going on, right, they're still fighting, and they start praising the Vrajvasis in 4 slokas. And they are the one who said that this is adharma going on here, we should not stay here. So in that mood, how this will come? But the thread is to establish Braj Bhakti as the supreme. So that's what is being described. So we read in the previous slokas how the gopis, they drink the nectar of Krishna's beauty, and then it was described how they are absorbed in his thoughts, Uru Krama Chittayana, that either Uru Krama Chittayeva Yeshamyana, or they are on the Chitta of Uru Krama, whichever way. So they are singing about Krishna while they are milking or grinding wheat or grains for making chapatis or churning yogurt, etc. Whatever activities they are performing, they are reciting Krishna's beauty, his qualities, his pastimes. Now in the next verse they describe how the gopis, they are drinking the beauty of Krishna, because that's what they said, Gopya Kim. Gopya Tapa Kim Acharanya Damusya Rupam Lavanya Saram Asmordham Ananya Siddham Dirgbe Pibantya. That how they are drinking the Lavanya Sar, the topmost beauty, with their eyes. So in the next verse they describe how and when they drink it. So pratar vrajat vrajata avishatascha sayam gobhi samam konayatosya nishamya venum nirgamya tonam avalapati bhuri punya pashyanti sasmit mukham sadayavalokam. So they drink the beauty of Krishna when Krishna goes in the morning to the forest with the cows, and when he comes back, because in the daytime he is not there. So pratar vrajat vrajata, in the morning he leaves Vraja and goes to the forest. And avishtascha sayam, and in the evening he returns and he comes back along with cows, gobhi samam, and it also is indicative of the Gopas, cowherd boys are also there. And what is he doing? Konayatavasya nishamya venum. How do they know when is he coming, when is he going? So they have a watch? They set alarm clock. So they hear the sound of Krishna's flute. So nisamya venum konayatavasya. Krishna is playing on his flute. So when he leaves, when he comes, and that's when they come. Nirgamya turnam avalapati bhuri punya. So these gopis who are highly pious, they come on the path to look at him. They come out quickly, turnam. And they are abala, they are not sabala, they are not with Balram. Krishna is sabala and they are abala. So means they don't have the ability to go with him That's why they are abala. Otherwise they would like to go. So pashyanti sasmit mukham sadaya avalok. They see Krishna's face, which has a beautiful smile on it, and he is also looking at them with great love and compassion. Sadaya avalok. So earlier also he said that they see him, and and it was said that they drink in two ways, through their eyes and through their tongue. So as the commentator explained in the previous verse, that they are using their rasna to taste the sweetness of Krishna, and also their eyes, which is being described here. So pratar vrajat vanam vrajtaha, morning he goes to the forest from the vraja, and sayam vanad vrajam avishata, and in the evening he returns back from the forest. Pravishato asya krishnasya venum nishamya. So when they hear the flute played by Krishna, grihebhyo nirgamya, they come out from the house onto the path. Pathi gavanena marga samipa upmanadav pashyanti. So they see him, how he is carrying the cows. They stand and see him near the path or near the forest. Sadayah svavirha khinna khinnang khinnanginangista. What is it, 2 times? Or is it a mistake? So, to said Sadayavalokam, that he is seeing them with compassion. Why compassion? Because he sees that the gopis, their bodies having the symptoms of grief because of separation from him. So he notices the symptoms, and drishtva tadabhishta vitaranu vyanjaka nukampa sahito avaloko yasyato. So after seeing this, he distributes the desirable thing, and that is his glances, and that glance is having compassion in it. So sadaya avalokam. So he not only looks at them, but he also shows compassion on them. So in these 4 verses, the greatness of gopis was described, and now he comes back what was going on there. So there was a running commentary of the wrestling match. In between something else came, so now he comes back. Evam prabhashamanasu strisho yogeshwaro harihi shatrum hantum manaschakre Bhagavan Bhartarshabha. So Krishna, he heard them when they were talking. It means his attention was onto them, not so much on the wrestler. Otherwise, how could he hear? If you are busy in a competition, you don't notice what the people are talking. So he was more interested in what they are saying, not the wrestling. So in this way, when the women, they were speaking, then Hari, Yogeshwara, but he is Yogeshwara, therefore he can hear. Sarvam Pashyanti Yoginaha. So Yogi can see past, present, future, and he is Yogeshwara. So he was able to know the talk. And therefore he decided that I should kill the enemy now. Bhagavan Bhartarshabha, that O king, Bhagavan, he resolved to kill the wrestler. Otherwise these ladies will leave, because they said this is adharma going on here. So he does not want them to leave. So he says, now I'll show that there is no adharma here. I am a match. In fact, he is not a match to me. This is the adharma. So therefore, just when they were talking, he made the decision. Yogeshwara iti tatratya anukul pratikul lokanam swagata api vachaha shrinvan ityartha. So the word Yogeshwara signifies that people who were standing there, whether they were favorable or devoted to him or who were inimical to him, he was able to know and hear. He was able to know what they were thinking, swagatapi, vachaha shrinvan, and could hear what they are speaking. Hantu manaschakre iti alam etaha anuragini dukkhayatva iti bhava. So he decided to kill Chanura. He says, I don't want these women to suffer like this. So therefore, out of compassion, he decides to kill. Compassion on somebody, death for someone. So, ye bhajanti to mam bhaktya, mai tu te suchapyam. So he is doing that. Sabhaya stri graha srutva putra sneha suchaturau pitrau anvatapyetam putrayora buddho balam. So there was also the talk that Sabhaya Strigra Srutva Putra Sneha Suchatarau. So the parents, Pitarau, they also heard the words of the women. They were talking, so they also heard. So therefore they also became troubled in their mind out of fear, out of distress. Pitrau api anyatapyetam, they also grieved. Putrayora buddho balam, not knowing the strength of their sons Krishna and Balaram. So they also felt anxiety, what will happen. So Pitarau, the word Pitarau can mean either Vasudeva and Devaki, or it could mean Vasudeva and Nanda Maharaj. Earlier also he commented like that. So definitely Nanda Maharaj was there, and from here we understand that Vasudeva was also present, or Devaki was also there. So Anuvatapyatam, that he did not want that they are lamenting that why this is happening in front of our eyes. Hanta hanta vraje gamishyan akrura eva katham tatha na shikshito yatha naiv naetau anishyat saiti. So he says, alas, alas, why Akrura, when he came there, he did not tell, so that I should not bring them here. Hanta hanta kathamanai pure mayaka sutta kathamaso nigriha griha dhrita ityadikam pasyatapa kurmata balam abudho jananta. So Nanda Maharaj was lamenting that why did I bring my sons here? I should have kept them in the house and send Akrura away. So in this way he was feeling great distress, not knowing the strength of his sons, Balam Abudho Ajananta, that how powerful are the sons. तैस्तैर नियुद्ध विधि भीर विविधैर अच्युते तरौ युधाते यथान्योन्यम तथैव बलमुष्टिकौ. So now it describes the fight which was going on. So it says Taistai Niyuddha Vidhibhir Vividhair Achyuta Itaro. So they, all of them, because there are four, so plural, Niyuddha Vidhibhi. So they were using the various technique or maneuvers for their wrestling. Achyuta Itaro. Achyuta and Itara is Chanura. Yudhate yathanyonyam tathaiva balmustiko. So as Krishna and Chanura, they were fighting with each other. Then similarly, Balram and Mustika, they were also fighting with each other in the same manner. So in the previous, I think I left something. Sastya bhava tadarhamiti nirdeshena tasya nityatva gyapanath. So I think this was an 18th. That should be Sasti Bhakti Balasya instead of Balam. So Nispatai Achyutascha Itarascha Itaras Chanurascha. So Itar here is Chanura, Achyuta is Krishna, these two are fighting, and Balram and Mustika. So now it's coming to an end. Bhagavad Gatra Nispatair Vajra Nispesha Nishturaihi Chanuro Bhajyamanango Muhu Glanimavapaha. So now Bhagwan, he made his body as they saw. Mallanamasni, and Krishna entered, the wrestlers saw Krishna's body like a thunderbolt. So now he is actually thunderbolt to them. So Bhagavad Gatra Nispatai Vajra Nispesha Nishturai. So Krishna's bodily limbs were now like strong like thunderbolt, and he was getting what you call Nispesha. What do you call this? Powdered. He was getting powdered by his bodily limbs, making chutney. So Chanuro Bhajyamanango Muhur Glanim Avapa. So now the bodily limbs of Chanura, they were breaking down because he was getting strong punches, kicks left, right. Krishna was hitting him from all sides. So he got fatigued, Glanim Avapa. After all, how much beating he can take? He's taken enough. Generally, all the descriptions which we heard of all the other asuras which came, there may be one or two slokas about them. Krishna kicks, he does this, kills, finished. So here he's played enough with him. So finally he is tired. Nispatai praharai. So Krishna is hitting him. And Nispesha Sanchurnam. So he's making powder out of him. Tadvad Nishturai. So Nishtur means hard, harsh. So no compassion. Very harshly is beating him up. So his body, as it is described in the previous sloka, the bodily limbs were completely broken down, means tired, fatigued, and fell. So finally he comes up with his strength. Sashena vega utpatya mushtikritya karabubhau bhagwantam vasudevam kruddho vakshasya avadhata. So what he did, that he very swiftly, like a hawk, he jumped up. Means he must have been thrown on the ground. Sometimes you see this in the boxing or the freestyle wrestling, that other guys throw him down and he's lying there. Suddenly he gets up. So he got up and mushtikritya karavubhav. He joined his both hands together and gave one big box on the chest of Krishna. Bhagwantam Vasudevam Kruddho, in a very angry mood, Vakshashi Abadhata. So he hit him very powerfully. So abadata atadata. Abadata means atadata, he hit him. So what happened then? Krishna fell down? He said no. Nothing happened to him. Na chalat tat praharena mala hata ivadvipaha bhavo nigriya chanuram bahusho bhramayan harihi. So when he hit him in Sri Krishna's chest, then Krishna did not move. He did not shake. Na chalat tat praharena. It made no effect on him. And he compares, he says, mala hata eva dvipaha. It was just like if you hit an elephant with a garland. So then what will happen? So nothing happened. But then what he did, since he put his both hands on his chest, he caught the hand. And after catching him by the arm, he lifted him and he rotated him up in the air. So Bahavo Nigriya Chanuram Bahuso Brahmayan Hari. And he rotated him for quite some time. So there he is, maybe just moving his legs in the air, trying to get something. But nothing happened, it didn't leave him. And then finally, after rotating it, he hit him on the ground, and that's it. So bhuprishthe pothyamasa tarsa kshina jivitam vishrasta kalpakesha shrag indradhvaja ivapatat. So he threw him on the ground with a big force, tarsa, kshina jivitam. Already his life air was getting out. He was rotated too much. The centrifugal force took his life out from him. So when he fell, Krishna hit him on the floor, then everything went helter-skelter. So Vishrasta Akalpa Kesha Sraga Indradhvaja Vapata. So his garland, his hair were disheveled, and whatever ornaments he had, this broke here and there. And he fell down just like the Indradhvaja. So in the yajna, they used to have a post, tall post. So that is called Indradhvaja. So it fell, as if that fell down, because the wrestler was big in size and tall, so he fell. And it was finished. Tathaiva mushtikah purvam swamushtyabhiyatena vai balbhadrena balina talena bhito bhrisham. And Mushtika did the same thing. They both were actually imitating. So Mushtika also, Mushtika, his name is Mushti only. So he also punched Balram. So when he punched Balram, then what did Balram do? Balram gave him just one slap. And that was enough for him. So Talena Abhito Brisam, but he gave a very strong one. Heavy slap. Balina, Balbhadrana. Balbhadra, who is very powerful. Pravepitaha sarudhram udvaman mukhtorvitaha Vyavashu papator vipasthe vata hatai vangripaha. So when he got this, he was shaken completely. His head reeled and he fell down. And he was vomiting blood. Mukta Ardhita, being hit, he started vomiting blood, fell on the ground, and his life here was gone. Vyasu and Papata. and Vyapasthe on the Uru Upasthe. So he fell on the ground, just like some big tree gets uprooted in the heavy storm, like that he fell. So now both Chanur and Mustik, they are lying on the ground, dead. Then the others will come to get prasad. So Indradhwaja Prachya Suprasiddha, he says Indradhwaja is popular in Bengal, Prachya. Talena, Pani Talena. Tala means the palm, means giving slap. Urvi upasthe bhutale shlesha dyotita gali pradhanam cha. So he says that Urvi upasthe, that he fell on the ground. So he says it's also is indicative that Balaram was using abusive word for him. That is also indicative. Because Uru, this area is called Uru. The thigh and upastha, private parts are also called upastha. So it's taking that meaning. ततः कूटम अनुप्राप्तम राम प्रहर्ताम वरः अवधीत लीलिया राजन सावज्ञम वाम मुष्टिना. So at that time, another wrestler whose name was Kuta, he came running. So what did Balaram do? He made Kuta out of. In Hindi, Kuta means Kut the iska, right? So his name was Kuta. Kuta means thrash, to thrash. So his name was Thrash. So Balaram thrashed him. As he came near him running, he gave him one from the left hand. The other guy got from the right hand, and he probably came from the left side, or he was this side, he gave from the right, he came from that side, he gave from the left. So that was enough for him. Because now they came in their real form. Till now they're warming up. Right? Krishna and Balaram, they got warmed up finally. So when they got warmed up, then they finished them. So therefore this Kuta, he got beaten up. Kuta in Hindi means to beat. So he got beaten up. So Kutam Anupraptam. Anupraptam means that he came right after him. Rama Prahartambara. Rama, who is expert in beating, he is good at martial arts because he knows how to play the club fighter. So they also know martial art. So therefore he get Avadhit Lilaya Rajan. He says he killed him just like in a play, Lilaya, with his Savagyam. He said just very disrespectfully, carelessly. He did not even think, who is this guy? He said, who is this mosquito here? Chalo. Do not think him more than that. That's why it says Savagyam with Avagya. Tarhyeva hi Shala Krishna Padaphat Shirshakaha Dvidha Vidirna Toshalka Bhavapi Nipetatu. Then there were this Shala and Toshala. So then they came. So they came to Krishna, both of them. So Krishna killed both of them. One guy, he gave him a kick on his head. So karate type. And his head fell off. Shala, it says, Hata Shirshaka Dvidha Vidirna Toshalka Bhavapi. And then Toshalaka also, he cut him in two parts and threw them away. So both of them fell on the ground, Nipetato. So now, these were the heroes among the wrestlers. When they got killed, everyone else started running away from them. Chanure mushtike kute shale toshalake hate shesha pradudravu mallaha sarve prana parikshavaha. So when Chanura, Mushtika, Kuta, Shala and Toshalaka, they were killed, then the other ones, there were another 15-20 guys there. So they all ran from there, all these wrestlers. Because they knew that if we don't run from here, even if we don't go there, they will come here. So they ran away from there, trying to protect their life. And they also ran because if they don't run, then Kamsa can get them killed. This is why these guys are not doing anything. So now all the wrestlers, they left. But this was not very big fun for Krishna, because now only Krishna and Balaram warmed up, and now the wrestlers, they ran away. So he says, what is this? When we are ready to play, these people are gone. So then they pulled the Gopas. Let's go and play. So Gopan Vayashyan Akrishya Tai Sansrijya Vijrahutu Vadyamaneshu Turyeshu Valgantau Rutanupurau. So all this time music was going on, right? Cheering team was there, cheerleaders. So cheerleaders were cheering even them, although they are from Mathura side. So therefore he says, Vadyamaneshu Turyasu. When the music was going on, then Krishna, who was now really in the mood, so he pulled the cowherd boys and he started playing with them. Of course with them they are playing, they are friends. And they were dancing. They are also playing, and Rutanupurau Valgantau, they are moving. Now they are really giving pleasure to the, because these people have bought ticket, expensive ticket. So they don't want them to disappoint, Like you go to see a boxing match and the match is over in the first round. So then you think, what is this? We wasted our money, So Krishna did not want that. So he is now playing and he is relishing his victory. He is enjoying. So therefore it says, Gopan Vayashyan Akrishya. So Valgantau Nrityadi Kurvantau. So they were dancing, moving, doing somersault, jumping up and down, making human pyramid. They were doing all kinds of tricks because they're cowherd people, They do this all the time. So now they got a chance to show it to others. When they play in the forest, there are no spectators, right? And now they have so many spectators, so they were, jumping, going around, standing on their hands, walking, headstand. Like sometimes you see in the New York train station, some guys come and they stand on their head with the music, right? It's kicking their legs in the air. So they were also doing it, because it says Vadyamaneshu Turyeshu. Music was going on. So they were doing all kinds of, going on one hand, right? A leg in the air and then dancing. It says Valgantau Rutanupurau. And they had Nupur. They had ankle bells on their feet, so they are also playing with that. At least in New York I have not seen that. They should learn it from here. Can also tie ankle bells and do this. It will be more fun. It will be something new, right? For New Yorkers to see that. So Jana Prajaharshu Sarve Karmana Ram Krishna Yoho Rite Kamsham Vipramukhyaha Sadhavah Sadhu Sadhu iti So now the people were happy. He says, this is great. Finally we got to see some fun. So everybody, sarve janaha prajahishu, all the people, they were very happy, they were very pleased with what? Karmana Rama Krishnayo, by the acts of Krishna and Balram. The only one person, he was not happy, and that was Kamsa. So Ritai Kamsam, Vipramukhya sadhava sadhu sadhuiti. And the saintly people and the chief of the Brahmanas, they were all saying, well done, well done. They were all clapping. He says, this is wonderful, this is great. So Vipresu ye mukhyaha sadhavo ye te sadhu sadhu iti uchu. So those who were the best of the Brahmanas, they appreciated and they said, sadhu sadhu, great, great, well done, well done. Such a nice show. And then there were Vipras who were not the best of the ones. So what were they saying? It says, ha ha. iti uchu. Vipradhama kansa purohitastu ha ha iti uchu. So those who were in favor of Kamsa, some Brahmanas, obviously they were his priest, they were saying, alas, alas, what happened? What is this? What is this? Hateshu malle varyeshu vidriteshu cha bhaujarat nivarayat svaturyani vakyam chaidam uvachaha. So when all his top wrestlers were killed and the second grades ran away, then the king of the Bhojas, Kamsa, he asked the music people to stop. He says, stop now. What is this? You are on our side or their side? So Nevarayat Svaturyani, and then he spoke the following statements in an angry mood. So what did he say? Nissarayata durvrittau Vasudevatmajau purat dhanam harta gopanam nandam badhnita durmatin. He says, kick out these two sons of Vasudev from city because they are wicked fellows. They came for wrestling and they killed. Says, kick them out. So he's not saying kill them because he knows that that's not. We tell to do something which is possible. He's already seen how powerful they are. So Nissarayata durvrittau, these wicked two boys, kick them out. And dhanam harta gopanam, and plunder this cowherd, whatever wealth they have, take them. And nandam badhnit durmatim, and arrest this foolish Nanda. So this is what he orders. So Nisharata ityadau saraswati matetu. So he gives another meaning to this. Tu durgam vittam charitram yayostau. So he says that durvritta generally means ill character, or these boys of ill character. So he says here dur means durgam, vritta, charitrayayu. He says these two boys whose activities are very difficult to understand. We don't understand what they are doing, what they are planning, what they mean. So purat purmadhyas asya nisheshena saram shreshtam kurutah. So puram adhyasya nisheshena saram. So he says make them sit down establish them in the middle of the city and nisheshena saram shreshtam kurudaya, and establish them as the supreme. So that's the meaning he brings from this. And Gopanam Dhanam Sri Krishnam Hartaha. So take away the wealth of the Gopas He says, what is the wealth of the Gopas is Krishna. So steal him. Don't let him go. And atraiva rakshataha nandam badhnita prem rasna iti shesha. And this Nanda, bind him with the rope of love. Let him not go somewhere. Means keep them here. This is the meaning. Parasya Parmeswarasya Paksham Gacchati iti sa. So what is Parasya here? This is in the next. Tena saha iti pritim kuruta ityartha. So when he says bind him, means bind him with the rope of love, which means show your love to him. And he is called Durmati. So Durmati means Durgama Matir Yasya Tam. That he is highly intelligent. You cannot understand his mind. That's why he is called Durmati. So this is the alternative meaning he gives. Then what about Vasudeva? He says Vasudevastu Durmedha Hanyatam Asu Asattamaha Ugrasena Pita Chapi Sanuga Parpakshaga. And this Vasudev, he is Durmedha. He is also dullhead. So kill him immediately, because he is Asattama. He is the worst of people. And so is my father, because he is also following them. He has joined hands with them. Parpakshaga, he is in cahoots with them. So catch him also, or kill him, or bind him. So Durgam Buddhir Vasudevo Hanyatam. So Durgam Buddhi, again Durmedha here means that his Medha, his Buddhi is Durgam, you cannot understand him. And Hanyatam, Gamyatam, Sarvai Ashliyatam. So Hanyatam means to kill, but Handhatu also has a second meaning, Gati. So Hanti also means to go. So it means you should go to Vasudev, which means take shelter of him. Everybody take shelter of Vasudev. He is highly intelligent. And Navidyate Sattamo Yasmatsa, and he is Asattama. Asattama means the worst of the wicked people. But it means that there is no one who is more saintly than him. He is the topmost saint. Parasya Parmeshwarasya Paksham Gacchati iti sa. And then Ugrasena also should be treated in the same way, because he is their follower. Or rather, Ugrasen along with his follower should be given the same treatment, because he is taking the side of Parmeshwara Pakshaga. So that's the Saraswati meaning. Evam vikatthmane vai kamshe prakupito vyayaha laghimno patyatarsa mancham uttunga maruhat. So when Kamsa, he was boasting like this, then Sri Krishna became angry, and very quickly and with great force he jumped up, high jump, and he was immediately on the dais. There was the big throne of Kamsa, so he was right there. So he took a big leap and he was up in the air and reached. So now it's Kamsa's turn. Evam swabhakta droha shravanat prakupitaha. So why did Krishna become angry? Because he heard all these harsh statements against his devotees. So he was very upset. Prakrishta kopena api jivanam iva nasti vayo yasya. And although he was very angry, prakupita, not only kupita, but Prakrupita, Prakrushtena Kupita, highly angry, but still he is called Avyaya, means he did not lose his control. He was still balanced in his mind, and not like common people. When they get angry, then krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhrama. So not like that. He still remembered what he has to do. So he jumped to Kamsa. Sa laghimna sarvdrishti alakshitam iti. So laghimna means very quick. With great speed he jumped. He jumped so quickly that people didn't even see him when did he jump and reach there. They saw him in the ground, and next they see him up on the stage next to Kamsa. Tamavishantam alokya mrityum atmana asanat manashvi sahasa utthaya jagrihe sosi charmani. So finally Kamsa is face to face with Krishna. Krishna is standing there and says, "Here I am. You are searching for me. You sent Akrura to get me. I have come." Satam avishantam alokya mrityum atmana ashnat. So Kamsa saw him coming there, and he saw him death. That my death has come. So he suddenly got up from his seat, and he pulled out his sword and the shield. Took the sword in one hand and shield in the other, ready to attack Krishna now. And he is called here as Manasvi. So Manasvi is generally used for those who have stable mind. But here it means one who has a polluted mind. Ill-minded Kamsa. Tam khadagpanim vicharantamashu shenam yatha dakshina savyamambare samagrihita durvishaha ugrateja yathorvam tarkshuta prasahiya. So Kamsa was running here and there. He was actually not so much attacking Krishna, but he was trying to protect himself. So he was sitting on a big throne, and Krishna came right in front. So he jumped from the throne and he went on the back. And if Krishna is going to left side, he runs to the right. If he comes to the right, he goes to the left. So he's trying to dodge Krishna. So that's what it says. Tam khadag panim vicharantam ashu shenam yatha dakshina savyam ambare. So Krishna saw him that he has a sword in his hand and he is running left and right just like a hawk in the sky, goes from this to that. And samagrihita durvishagra ugra teja. So Krishna caught him. He was trying to escape. Such a great hero. He was trying to escape Krishna, so he did not. He says Krishna, Durvishaha Ugra Teja, whose prowess is very intense and intolerable by anybody. So he caught him. And how he caught him? He said, just like Garuda catches snake. So snake also runs left, right. But Garuda comes and catches the snake in one swoop in her, claws, and goes up in the air. And then snake cannot do anything. So Krishna also caught him like that. So let's bring an end to him also. while leaving. Sapragrihya kesheshu chalat kiritam nipatya rangopari tunga manchat tasya uparishtat swamabjanabha papat vishwashraya atmatantraha. So he says that Krishna caught Kamsa whose crown has fallen down. So he caught him by the hair. When he was running around, Kamsa's chalat kiritam, his diadem fell on the ground. So Krishna caught him by the hair, and by catching him by the hair, threw him down from the stage onto the ground. And then what he did, he also jumped on him. First he threw him down, and then he jumped on him. So tasya uprishtat swam abjanabha papata vishwashre atmatantra. So Krishna, who is the shelter of the whole universe and who is independent, who is having a navel like lotus, so he threw him down from a Tunga Manchat. The stage was very high, especially because he was the king, so his seat was the highest. And from there he threw him down, and then he jumps also on him. So that was the end of Kamsomrita iti yada kopi na pratiyaya kim murchitoyamiti manyate sma tada vichkarsham tan mrityum sarvan pratyayatumiti bhava. So he is commenting on the second next, there is no comment on this. Tam samparetam vichakarsha bhumo hariryathaibham jagato vipashyata haheti shabdasu mahanstadabhuti udirita sarvo janairindra. So Kamsa, when he was thrown down, he was dead already. So then he pulled him around. He did not leave him. So vichakarsha bhumo hari, just like a lion may pull a dead elephant. Jagato vipashyata, when everybody was seeing. So he made sure everybody knows that he is dead. So do not fear, because some people may still think, well, we are follower of Kamsa, should support him. So he is dead. Ha heti shabda sumahanstada. So there was a big loud cry of ha ha at that time. Sarva janair narendra. O king, at that time all the people started saying ha ha. And that's the end of Kamsa. So Kamsomrita iti yada kopi na pratiyaya kimtu murchitoamiti manyate sma. So people may think that Kamsa is not dead, rather he is just unconscious. So just to tell to people that don't think he is unconscious, he is dead. So he pulled him around. Tadatam vichakarsha tan mrityum sarvan pratyayatum iti. To let it known to everyone that he is finished. Ha heti shabdo atra vishmaye mahashurasya api avagya vadhat. Ha ha here is not out of grief. Ha ha is generally used in grief. He says it's out of surprise. He says Kamsa was such a great hero and he died just like that. What a surprise. So yaduktam Vaishnave tato haha kritam sarvam ashitadanga mandalam avagyahitam drishtva krishnena vatreshwara. So this is described in Vishnu Purana, that at that time people shouted ha ha sarvam ashitadanga mandalam ranga mandalam. This sound filled up the whole stadium, and the reason was that this Mathureshwara, the king of Mathura, has been killed by Krishna just so easily. Therefore they said ha ha. So I will stop here. Bhushanji.
Abhijit Pranams. My question is on this fear response of Kamsa. I've heard that there are three types of fear response: flight, fight, and fawn. So fight is impossible here. So Kamsa tried to flee and was unsuccessful. I was wondering why Kamsa did not think of just for touching his head on Krishna's feet, not as an Ishwar, but actually recognizing he's superior to me. He has killed all of my big people. At least if I submit to him, okay, I'll have to serve under him, but at least my life will be spared. I may not become the king, but my life will be spared.
If you could think like this, he would not be Kamsa. He would be somebody else. It's for this very reason that he is Kamsa. He is not going to submit to Krishna. He hates him. Anything else? Okay.